Hello, this is Nathaniel Oxford, the Oxford with a Essential Elements lesson. We are in page 26 and page 27 in the Essential Elements Book 1. And this is the section where we do the G string notes. So we're going to talk about violin, viola, and cello. Not so much bass because the fingering and notes are a little bit different. But if you just remember that first finger on cello and violin and viola are the same, and third finger on cello is like second finger on violin and viola, and third finger on violin and viola are like fourth finger on cello. So if I had tapes on my cello right here, you'd see a first tape, second tape, and third tape. And we're going to just go through these, and obviously we're doing open G. And so this is the low G. It's not the finger G. It's the lowest G on your instrument. And the new notes on this page are C, which I'm reading a cello book, so it says C is played with 4 fingers on the G string. And it should sound like my low C, just higher. C, lower than I could say. And then B is played with, again, on cello, it's 3 fingers on the G string. On violin and viola, it's 2 fingers. A is played with 1 finger on all 3 of those instruments, okay? So, let's go ahead and get started with number 93. It does introduce key signatures in here, where instead of putting sharps or flats on individual notes, it puts, in this case, 1 sharp at the beginning of the piece of music to indicate that all Fs are sharp, and that's a key signature. So if you look at the beginning of a piece of music and you see that, it could be like 3 flats or it could be 2 sharps, but that just indicates that those notes for the lines and spaces are all sharp. So if there were 2 sharps, the sharps would be F sharp and C sharp. So when I look at number 93, it says all Fs are sharp. Well, there are no Fs in these exercises that we're going to do today until we get to number 98, and that's where we're going to stop. We're going to do 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, and 98. So I would recommend right now, go through, pause the video and go through number 98 and write in your note names on that scale. Remember, everything goes in alphabetical order, so it's the G scale, so the first note is G, the second note is going to be A, and then you just go B, C, D, E, F, G, and the key signature says all Fs are sharp, so put a hashtag next to your F to indicate that it's F sharp. F sharp is here, and F is here. And then you come down the scale and just go backwards. And we practice the musical alphabet forwards and backwards enough that that should be pretty easy for you. And then you can use that as a fingering chart for any time that you have G string notes. The first 4 notes are on your G string, and then the next 4 notes are on your D string. And the D string notes were some of the first notes we learned, so those should be easy. I'm going to go ahead and play the tracks, the accompaniment tracks. What we're going to do is the first time we're going to say the note names, and the second time we're going to play them. If you're like, oh, I'm still not sure which lines or spaces these are, like the violin has a whole bunch of ledger lines below the staff to get down to that low G. If you're like, well, that's a lot of ledger lines. I only practice the notes in the staff. That's okay, because it tells you, like number 93 right at the beginning, let's read G, so you know it's low G. Also, it has a 0 up above, so that you know that it's open G. And these are all G string notes. So number 94, there's 1 note toward the end that is not the same as all the other notes. All the other notes are C, but the second to last note is a different note. But that's not what we just did in number 93, so it's a G. Number 95 starts adding more notes. But guess what they've done? Above your first note, they put the fingering for B. So that's helpful. And then 2 measures later, in the third measure, it goes up a note. And if you didn't remember that 1 note above B is C, it even puts the fingering in there for you. So it's 3 for viola and violin, and in my cello book it says 4. And then the next note, B, it reminds you of the fingering again, and then the ending is just the same as the ending in number 94. So if you stop and look at the clues, if you're not sure what the notes are, you can figure it out from the context of what's there. We're going to just go ahead and play them through, and like I said, we're going to say them the first time, and play on the second time, I'm also going to finger the first time through. So that's another way to practice. Let's go ahead and start this up.
91. Whiteley Road.
Try that again.
Orchestra 93.
Here we go.
Let's read G.
G, 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 Okay, now we're going to play it. There's a little funky beat in there, isn't there? No fingers. All right, number 94.
94. Let's read C.
Say it the first time. C, 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 C. Play it the second time. Two notes. All right, number 95. B. Let's read B. All right, I'm going to play it the second time. And number 96, my favorite one in the whole book. I love this accompaniment track.
A.
Oh, it's so mysterious. Play it. Number 97. If you forget the notes, they put the fingerings in for you. C, C, B, B, G. Bow lift. G, that little bow lift in the middle, we might not have talked about that, but when you end on a down bow and then you're going to start on a down bow, there's a bow lift in the middle. And to write it like an apostrophe. Here it is. Feels like finishing a race in that one. Number 98.
98. G major scale.
G, C, D string. F sharp, G, F sharp, E, D, C, B, G. Okay, it looks like I'm going to play it without the accompaniment. My computer screen went black, so it's in sleep mode now. Let's go ahead and play it. 1, 2, ready, go. D string. And that's all of the G string notes.